that is very low, 3 degrees.
Yeah. Once after some time, around June or July, it will even be negative.
Okay. Now tell me, majority of the country is mountainous, is it? Swaziland is a mountainous country.
Yes, yeah.
And the population right now, what is the population?
I think the last time I checked, we were around 1.3 million.
1.3 million. That is the population of a small town like Mombasa in this country. I really tell you, and I know you moved around Nairobi, Kenya. You did Machakos?
No. I think I was around Nairobi, yeah, and we went as far as Makindi. We didn't get to Mombasa.
On the Mombasa Nairobi highway.
Yeah, yes, it was. But we were almost there.
And then you did Nakuru towards Rift Valley. Did you go, or you went to Naivasha?
Yeah, we did Nakuru and yes, to around the Rift Valley. Yes, yeah.
Then did you go towards a mountain that is Nyeri? Did you go towards Mount Kenya?
No, I don't think we went that far.
You didn't go that far. Good. It's good to know that you are well. We also are well. We haven't spoken to Dr. Mukoro. He hasn't spoken to me. You know, last year we had the lockdown, so he hasn't spoken to me, but I know we are going to speak soon.
Yes, no, I'm also hoping one day I can come back to Kenya. It was one of my nicest experiences. It's a very nice country.
Wow. Yeah, people here are hospitable. That's for a fact, Edwin. We are very hospitable, and I also loved you as in class, and as you were doing the consultancy, you are one of those students who are very keen and very particular and confident of the work they were doing. So it was a lovely experience to have you as well.
Thank you. I always try to do my best.
I know, and you now you are still doing part with government, but you have an interest in going into business, is it?
Yes. I've been trying to pursue that for a while, but always whenever I'm trying to do it, there are these economical challenges.
Yes.
I'm hoping one day I can go full blown because I'm always doing some informal business here and there, but I want to take it formal.
Right. Good. I want to assure you that that's the direction to go. And for today, we would like to speak on the issue of career. And we will definitely take this conversation with you on another level. And I'm sure we can get something going. Sharon, welcome so much. Now we can be able to start. Sharon Muturi, it's good to have you. And I am sure now we can start. Allow me to start with a word of prayer, which is very important. Father, in the name of Jesus, this is another morning that you have given to us. We glorify your name. You are almighty and you are everlasting. You designed this day from the beginning of the earth that we can have this webinar to be able to share with your people knowledge and wisdom and experience and even skills that are going to lift them from one level to the next. We commit all unto you. May you capture in a spirit that can come to disturb us as we do this webinar. In Jesus' name we do pray and believe. Great. Welcome, guys. Today we want to speak about career takeoff. Majority of us are already in careers, or some of us want to start in career. And therefore, we'll be looking at the rules of rising up to the top in any organization. It doesn't matter whether it is an ungovernmental organization, a personal business, or even if you're working in government or you are working in the private sector. These rules do apply wherever you are. Now, Mahatma Gandhi said that the future depends on what you do today. So those daily activities that you are doing where you are working, or that you are doing to get from one job to the other, or that you are doing to get into a new environment of working, according to Mahatma Gandhi, are very critical. Charles Swindoll also said that career is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to what happens to you. Tomorrow you may be demoted. Tomorrow you may be transferred from the region or the section where you are to a different department or section or branch. How you react, how you respond to that transfer, that disappointment, if I may call it so, or even that excitement when you get a promotion, it's very, very critical. And you also say that someone called Mark Twain said, if you are willing to do more than what you are paid to do, eventually you are going to be paid to do more than you are willing to do. So continue doing more on the position you are holding now, or even if you are in between jobs and you are trying to get into a different job, continue doing more at that level, because you may feel you are underpaid, but be a fact of life. And in even what you call the kingdom principle for those who believe like myself, is that the more you do, very, very soon, you're also going to be paid more. And also I have an anonymous quote here from somebody saying, the secret of getting ahead is getting started. So do not keep dreaming. Whatever little idea you have today, start working on it, start doing it. If it's a new project you want to implement where you are working and you have the leeway, do it. If it's a new idea or a suggestion that you can give to your boss, start doing it today. Don't wait for perfection, because as you start doing, you find people get marshaled, resources get marshaled, opportunities get your way, and you find you are working and increasing and becoming better and better. Why then think of career takeoff? Why this webinar today? Number one is that all of us are ambitious, and having an ambition is not wrong. All of us want to become the CEO of the organization we are working for. We want to become the director general if we are working in a government. You want to become the top of that organization. So that is the reason why we are having this. What is it? What are those tactics? What are those strategies? What are those things that you can start doing, or you stop doing and you can restart doing, that are going to find you? Second reason why we are having this webinar is that you want to be a driver. We normally say in management, there are three people in an organization. There is a driver who makes things happen. There is a passenger who watches things happen. And there is also what you call the baggage, who wonders what has happened. Baggage, like even if you look at a vehicle moving, a public transport vehicle, it has a driver, the person in charge, or even let's say a train. Then you have passengers who he is taking from point A to point B. Those who are observing, enjoying themselves, and making comments and saying, oh, today this driver is driving very fast. This driver is careless. And then of course you have the baggage, like you have your luggage. You have a gunia, what you call a sack full of potatoes, which is being ferried from one point to the other in the same bus. So the question is, this bus you are in, this company where you are working, are you a driver? You are making things happen. Are you a passenger? You are just watching how things are happening and saying, we could have done it better there. You are not making the suggestion to the driver, don't drive so fast. Or are you a baggage that just watches? You sit there and wait to be told. People who are going to make difference in these organizations we are working, people who are going to go to the level of an MD, people who are change agents, even where they are in organizations, are people who are drivers or passengers, but proactive passengers, talking to the driver, making suggestions, making comments. The other reason why we are having this webinar is to make a difference in where we are working. We don't want to be baggage. We want to be differentiators. We want to be catalysts of change and transformation and new things. And you also want to grow professionally. You do not want to remain the same entry point where you have been for the last 5 years, for the last 2 years. You want to go to a different level. And finally, of course, all of us want to become successful, and we want the organization we are working for to become successful, because when they are successful, I'm also successful, and I go up the corporate ladder. Number one of the tactics or one of the rules that you can use to grow in your organization is always take the job that pays you more money. One time I was transitioning from corporate to government. I had two offers of a job working for government. One was Assistant Director Business Development. It was a small and parastatal. The other one was Trade and Promotions Manager in a bigger parastatal. There was a difference of about 10K, 10,000 shillings on salary. I opted for the bigger one. I opted for the bigger position, for the one that was paying more. So we are always saying this: always take the transfer, promotion, assignment that pays the most money. Why do you do this? Because remember, your benefits, your perks, your bonuses, and any subsequent raises you are going to get are going to be pegged on your salary. Number two reason why you take the position that pays you most is that the higher you are paid, the more you are visible to top management. You want to know, who is this person we are paying 100K, 200K, 300K, so that you want to see, are we utilizing that asset well? And we also say that the higher you are paid, the more you are visible to the top manager. And finally, the more money we pay you, the more contribution we expect from you. So they'll be coming to ask you to do this, do that. And you know, the more you are engaged, the more again you are becoming visible to those people who make decisions, the directors, the board, the top management, and the more you start now climbing up. And finally, the reason why you take the job that pays more, that it is easier to promote a highly paid person than somebody, because we are just going to increase a little bit of your allowances, a little bit of your salary, as opposed to somebody we are bringing from down all the way to the top. Therefore, in business and in life, the more you make, the more better you are doing. That is very simple. Rule number one: always take the job that offers you the highest. Whenever there are positions that are coming through in the organization and you are being asked, where do you want to go? Take the position that gives you more. The second rule is avoid what you call staff jobs. Line jobs are the jobs to take. Avoid staff jobs. Staff jobs mean, for example, maybe for example, you're talking about a planner, a data processor, someone like a research and development person, administration. Those jobs generally are what you call the staff jobs. They are like what you call maintenance job. They maintain the organization. Even if that is your area of professionalism, you can look for a way of getting from that area. And I'm going to give two practical examples in a while. Line jobs include marketing, sales, production, plant manager, somebody who is in charge of product management, the foreman, the supervisors, the general manager in charge of production. You are the people who are bringing in the new product. You are the person who is in agriculture. So you are bringing in new ideas of improving our farm. One of the CEOs we have in the country, Kenya, in the brewery industry, I know she works in she used to work in a beverage industry, and she was in marketing, then moved into production. Marketing, they are generating revenue. Production, they are the ones who are making the product we need to take to the market. So these are what you are calling the line jobs. They are making value to the company. And then moved into CEO position. Today, she is still in a CEO position. For you to be seen, you need to identify a line job. Because we are saying, the other one is the current CEO we have for Safaricom in Kenya. If you look at his history, he was a professional finance person. But at one point, I don't know how he transitioned into sales, became a sales director. And from there, he started preparing, because now you are producing. Finance, they are just counting. And I'm not saying it's a wrong career, but for you to rise to the top, you need to start looking for those positions that are giving you an opportunity to produce for the company, not the ones that are maintaining, back room, back operations. Nobody will ever see your work because you are just maintaining what is going on. Get into a position that is making you dirty, making you be seen out there working. Rule number 2, avoid staff jobs, seek line jobs. Rule number 3, do not expect the human resource department or the talent department in your company to plan for your career. Do not expect, they will never plan for your career. They will never show you the direction. Human resource, every person in that organization, they are concerned about the growth of the company, not about your growth. Therefore, I would encourage you that you are the person who is going to plan your career. The next move you are going to do, the next takeoff in your career is in your hands. So wake up and smell the roses. The fact is, most companies don't think about your career. It is about their future survival. The fact is, your destiny and your career growth are your responsibility. You have to devise a plan to act how to get there. You have to determine skills and expectations that you require to get there. If you require to go back to school to improve, do a diploma, do a degree, do a master's, do an online degree. These self-improvement classes we are having in the morning, master classes, these are individual decisions. Not everybody in the company is doing it. You are compromising your morning instead of being asleep, or instead of doing other routine issues, to go in and build yourself, because you're going to be better in the company when you go there, or in the organization. So rule number 3, do not expect the human resource department to plan your career. Your career is in your hands. Rule number 4 is that get and keep customers. Find out in the organization you are working, who is your customer. Let's say, for example, like now, Edwin works in government, which I know. Now, government, you must look at organizations that feed from your services. Who are they? Those are your customers. And remember, we say in customer service, we have what you call external customers and you have internal customers. External customers are now those organizations or other government organizations. For example, remind me, Edwin, you do what? You do forestry research, or you do forestry maintenance?
It's a bit of both, but mostly I'm in the maintenance, like the sustainability, sustainable forest management.
That is in Swaziland.
Yes.
Good. Now, if you are in maintenance, you need to ask yourself, which are the 5 organizations that consume that kind of? Tell me 2 organizations that you deal with that consume your service within the government or within even the private sector.
Mostly we deal with the communities, like the people.
Right.
Then
Good.
sometimes we have collaborations with private companies, the ones that sell the timber, produce timber products.
Right. So if these are the organizations that you deal with, what I want to encourage you, those are now your customers. That is number 1, the community. Number 2, now those private organizations. Therefore, you need to ensure that, because customers or clients are the lifeblood of any organization, you need to ensure that you are performing so good with them that anytime a senior person comes to that region, is being told, oh, Edwin, that is your best worker. That is your best manager. That is your best supervisor. And therefore, very, very soon, because when they go back to headquarters, they'll say, hey, there's a gentleman in the forestry department, in the forestry ministry called so-and-so. He is doing a good job for this country. And very, very soon you see a promotion coming your way. We say in marketing, customer is king. Customer is the real boss. We work for them. So even if I'm working for government, I must identify and ask myself, who is this who is consuming my services? That is your customer. And of course, even internally, what is your relationship between yourself and the other department heads and supervisors? Because they are the people who sit in meetings and say, oh, that gentleman called Edwin has a great attitude. He is very skilled, experienced, but attitude is very great. And therefore, the next position which is being there, then you find you have it. Remember, executive and bosses feel they don't have to deal with customers, but that is wrong. You require to know what, even if you have been promoted to level of a head of a department, you still need to know what is happening in that community project. You need to interact with that community project, what you call management by walking around. Mbwa. Why do you need, why do senior management fear clients? Because clients are very tough. When you go to that community and there's something not happening in the project, they'll push you. They'll tell you manner of things in those committees and those meetings that you have with them, public meetings. They will shout at you. People fear that. Senior management fear that. Second reason why people fear customers, because customers will reject you. Tell you, the money you are giving us for this project, you people are wasting that money. We can't see the impact. So those kind of negative talk, many people don't want it. And that reason why people fear clients or customers, senior management fear clients, is because customers make very harsh demands. They negotiate. Say, oh, give us more money. Make this project better. Do this. Why didn't you do this with this project? People don't want to hear that. They only want to hear good things. And therefore, they will start fearing to go to those field visits. They will not be coming for the field visits. And this is where the game is. This is where the differentiator is. Remember, your customers are your future, and your customers are the people who are going to propel you to the tomorrow. Because they can always see what is changing in the environment. They'll give you new ideas. Your customers will provide you new ideas of new programs, new projects, new products. Your customers know your competitor better than yourself, because their competitor is also coming to the same community. Your competitor is still coming to the same department. Therefore, they have an idea of what is happening in the market and in the community, and they are going to give you ideas that are going to improve you from one level as an organization to the other. Remember, to know your customer is to know your future. And remember that when you hear the next call from a community leader, the next call from a customer, we should all be running to answer it. We should all be willing to even drive, go out there, find out what is the new thing that they require. How is our project doing? We should have that eagerness, because when you get customers, when you keep customers, rule number 4 is you grow your career. When customers are happy, when customers know you, they know you are a solution provider, you grow your career. Rule number 5, keep physically fit. Study has shown us, Harvard University did a study that is showing that about 90% of the people going up the corporate ladder are out of shape. Look at presidents like Biden, who is in 77 years old, because these are public figures that we see, and if you do a little bit of research online, you are going to find out. Look at someone like the president of Russia, Putin. Look at someone like the president of the former president of the US, Obama. Look at someone like even some of our local leaders. You'll find those guys hit the gym every day. They have gyms in White Houses. Like I could remember hearing Obama saying, any town he goes to, even if he is out of country, he will always check for a gym. Take care of your physical health, because we say your body carries your brain. The better you are physically, the more you can be able to deliver. So, because the senior, I have noted, and especially in government, I noted that. I worked for government. I noted that you're always in meetings. And these meetings, there's always something to eat. I'm sure, Edwin, you are going for a meeting today or 2 meetings in a government office. Is that true?
Yeah, not today. Today I have some field work. But yeah, usually most of the time there are meetings, and yeah, you know, there are always the daily cases.
And you always find there is a cake here to be eaten, there is some refreshment, and mostly there will be a lot of wheat products.
Yeah, it's just you get spoiled for choice.
Good. Thank you so much. That's the reason why I'm saying take care of your body, because the moment you get into that meeting, you are seated down, you are just feeding. And then you move from the comes 10 o'clock tea, you eat. You come, I have noted that even when I'm facilitating organizations, then come lunch hour, we are eating. If you don't find a way of letting out all that energy and all that food by working out of 10 people, only maybe 2 people are able to process that and remain fit. The rest of us must find something to do physically, strenuous, whether it is that field visit, walking. I know some people, when they go for field visits, they park the vehicle very far and they walk. But remember, all of us are also spoiled because we have those vehicles, government vehicles, private vehicles, our own personal vehicles. I get into a vehicle here, get to my place of work, walk in, sit down. We need to find a way of keeping. Why do we require physical fitness? Number one, you are always starting your day earlier. Number two, you pause less often because you are not out of breath. Number three, you end the day on a very high spirit, a very high sprint. You always feeling you have the will to move on. Because we are told when you do a 20 minutes exercise in the morning, whatever form, you are told you have you feel the results and the benefits in the next 12 to 14 hours. For me, 5 days in a week, I must do my 20 or 30 minutes exercise in the morning. And that gives me and helps me to drive the day. And I feel I have the energy for the day, both physical and also mental. You also find you sleep better when you exercise in the morning, and you rarely get tired. And even when the depressive things of life come your way, stress and everything, you are in a better way to handle them. So keep physically fit, rule number 5, because the body carries your brain. And when the body is sick, because some of us have been sick, I know sometimes, you can see how you feel so helpless and so hopeless. The better your physical condition, the greater your capacity to be productive and to be unrelenting in your work. Take care of your body. Finally, you will have a lot of energy when you take care of your body to be able to volunteer, to play a game ball even with your son, your daughter in the evening when you come back, and also to probably even do other volunteer work in the community. How you keep fit is up to you, but ensure you keep fit. Rule number 6, do something hard and lonely once in a while. We say that regularly practice doing something that is pushing you to the limit, what you call Spartan. There used to be some Spartan warriors in medieval Europe that before they go to a battle, they would prepare like the way you see the US Marines preparing, go through some very hard training. I was watching about, I think 2 weeks ago in our country, Kenya. Our president was officiating the pass out of some paramilitary people. We call them the National Youth Service. It's not even paramilitary. It is a program that was started in independent Kenya that our youth go through some community work for about 2 years or 3 years or even 5, unpaid, but then you get your accommodation, you get your uniform, and the symbol, when they are passing out the parade, they use a shovel, because the shovel is symbolic of work. You are going to do a lot of manual work. And those young men and women, when they were passing out, you could tell. In fact, when they were marching and they were trying to do even the way they walk, they were able to lift up their leg up to even the sky. They are very physically fit. They have taken care of their body. The point is that normally is a very strenuous training. And I know people who have gone through the National Youth Service. In fact, now in our country, Kenya, they are being considered, they are going directly into military training, those ones who have the education, and also into the national police training. Because when you finish, you go back to the community. When you finish that training as a National Youth Service, because it's given free for government, of course, it's very competitive and there are not many slots. So nowadays people apply, they go through a process of vetting. But once you are done, I remember the president saying, I think half of them went to military, the other half went to government, the police for training. What I'm talking about is that they went through a very hard period. And when you go through a hard period, which you have self-induced yourself, it gives you an opportunity to know what is the capacity that I can hold. I've related, and I think I related in your session some times back. One time I decided to climb Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya in Kenya is the second highest peak in Africa from Kilimanjaro. And I went all the way to the second highest. There are 3 peaks. There is Renana, there is Batian, Sendeyo. Batian is the very highest peak on Mount Kenya. Batian, you only do it as a professional mountain climber. I did Renana. And it was 3 days of tough walking in the mountain, 3 days. And also losing a lot of air because you are going, the higher you go, the shorter, the less the oxygen. So you must be physically, and I was alone in the forest there with my guide, and of course with other mountain climbers. Those opportunities give you an opportunity to self-reflect, to even know what is your capacity. How do you wish you to do something hard and lonely? Is it studying for a degree at night alone when your friends are sleeping? Is it, doing a project that is pushing you mentally and physically that not everybody wants? Is it doing the next marathon in your country? In this country, we used to have for many years what we used to be called the Deto Heart Run. Nowadays, they are called the Heart Run. You also used to have the Nairobi Standard. It is still the Nairobi Standard Marathon, which is 42 kilometers. But you can do half the marathon, which is 21 kilometers. You do it. You practice for it. When you are through with that, you really feel you have done something for yourself. And I think I've done the half marathon once. But I'm saying this, the battle of life, the battle of business, the battle of the work life requires you to be able to do something hard and lonely, because all great and successful athletes, even in your country and my country, remember they normally have endless hours of training away from the cameras, somewhere in the mountain, in the bush, in the land, but we only see them one day when they come on top. Great. Rule, as we come to a conclusion, rule number 7, if you are in a position of authority, never write a nasty memo. Never issue a nasty memo to an employee. Because when you write a memo that belittles or criticizes or degrades a person, you hurt that colleague. Never write a memo that is cynical, condescending, or unkind. Never send a memo written in anger, frustration, because the world of career, the world of business, the world of career is very small. People get promoted, people change companies, people change jobs, and they have powerful friends. And you may find the person who is answering to you today as your direct report, tomorrow is your boss. So ensure you don't make enemies in organizations. Be the person, unless somebody has really done something nasty, call them, talk to them, issue them the official document, the official warning letters, but don't say something nasty. Yesterday in our country, Kenya, the last 2 weeks, we have been interviewing for the position of the Chief Justice, the president of the courts in Kenya, the overall president. It is a very interesting phenomenon. The lady who is going to become the Chief Justice is awaiting vetting by the president and the National Assembly. Her name is Martha Koome. And now yesterday we were vetting for, because there was a slot. There was a slot in there's a retired judge who, the highest court in Kenya is called Supreme Court. There's a judge who was retired, so they were also interviewing for that position. which has now gotten somebody called Justice Ouko has got it. Of course, again, vetting by the president and also the National Assembly. The interesting is that the person who is becoming the Chief Justice, the overall president of the courts in Kenya, was actually reporting to the person who is going to become a Supreme Judge, Dr. Ouko. You can imagine, Ouko, William Ouko. The point is, the former boss is now going to be working under his former junior. That is how life is. Today, your junior is going to be your boss tomorrow. So never write a nasty memo to that particular junior, because very, very soon you may find they are your boss. What are you going to do? You are going to bury yourself? You are going to hide yourself? Be careful. Be very, very careful. I want to give a bonus point as we conclude. Think for 1 hour every day. Take time to think. Take time to plan your day. Spend 1 hour planning, dreaming, scheming, thinking, calculating, and reviewing your goals, your career goals. Mentally practice this. If you have a next call, you have a next field visit, you have a next presentation, take time to think about what you are going to say. Because when you consider your options, when you pour down on those problems, and then you write them down, do this every day. Do it at a scheduled time. Do it at a desk or working table. Don't do it when you are working. Don't do it when you are driving. Don't do it when you are showering, or do it when you are seated. Because when you do that, ideas flow, and you can get even a solution for the next job or the next problem that is solving you. Welcome, Smith. We are almost coming to a very end. Welcome. So the point I'm saying here is, do something hard and lonely every day. You know, we are saying think for 1 hour every day, because when you think, it helps you to plan, and you think it, you make it a deliberate effort. It gives you the thrust. It gives you the understanding. It gives you of new ideas and new ways of doing things. So I want to take 1 or 2 comments. Karibu sana Smith Muturi. We are just coming to the very end, but we are going to share this with you. So we can hear something from Smith Muturi. Great. Edwin, you can make a comment as we come to the end.
No, I cannot say much, but except to say that I really appreciate these moments I have with you. I know even from my first time I met you, you really impacted on me. There are a lot of things that I keep learning that I learned from the onset. I'm hoping I don't miss much of your classes, because I always am able to pick something out.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Edwin. And how do you say bye-bye in Swazi? How many communities do you have? One national language?
We are a very simple country, small population, one language. Everything's just.
What is the language?
Siswati.
So what do you normally say? Good morning. How do you say it?
We have one. Yeah, it's Sawubona.
Sawubona. And then goodbye.
Usale kahle noma nisale kahle if it's many.
So we say Nisarigave to you, and because you have been with us. And before we end, we can hear something from Smith. Smith, karibu sana. I can see you have just gotten on, but we are going to share this video with you, this record. So you can say something, Smith. We are heading now.
Thank you, Joe, and good morning.
Morning.
Yeah. I've just joined in. I was held in traffic, so I was late to get to the office. Just joined,
yes.
But I'm sure I ran a lot from when you share the video. I have participated in your seminars before, right. And you are doing a great job.
Wow, where was this? Where did we meet in the seminar?
No. This video.
Oh, good. Thank you so much, Smith. I'm going to share with you right away.
Okay, I'll appreciate it. Thank you.
So we want to add with a word of prayer so we can pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, thank you so much for this morning, the sharing that has gone on, even with Edwin all the way from Swaziland, with Smith and Sharon and the rest in this country of ours. Thank you, dear Father, because these are the people who are going to be captains of industry tomorrow. They are the CEOs and the senior management and directors and ministers in their government. Thank you because you are doing a good thing in their communities and through them. Bless the work of their hands. For it is in Christ's name that we do pray and believe. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day, and we're going to pick it in the next 2 weeks. God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good day.